All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. It's JB Perez in the Cypher with Frank the Tank and C Money.
Yeah.
Big shout out to, Car Guy Coffee podcast. Shout out to them out there in Kentucky. Big fans of them out here in the Cypher. Guys, WJHM102jams.com. Thank you very much. That's the radio station we've been hosting for over a year, fellas. I think it's something to be said about that. But we're now on 2 more internet radio stations, guys. SteelWavesRadio.com and Rock100DIZ.com. So 2 more internet radio stations where you can find the Podhead. That's exciting for us. Just more reach for us. More ways to get our content out. We're super excited. I hope if you're listening out there on those platforms, thank you very much. We'll be out there. We'll see you real soon, guys. Let's keep the show moving. What are we talking about? I remember now. Fitness. C Money. Big ups to C Money because I'm telling you, he's the one that started with the Podheads doing this whole fitness mentality thing. Guys, I've been working out, and big ups to C Money. I bought a 10-pound kettlebell and been just doing the damn thing. I told C Money that, C Money introduced me to the Jocko Willink Instagram. If you don't know who that guy is, just Google it. He's the fucking badass Navy SEAL, killed Osama bin Laden kind of shit. Like, just the best dude you can think of. And that's what he works out with. That's what he works out with is this damn kettlebell all the time. And you know what? Whatever, long story short, I grabbed it, and here I am 2 days in, and I feel great, bro. I'm sore as hell, but I feel fucking fantastic, and I can't wait to keep doing it. Like, I told C Money that one of the reasons why I wanted to do this was to change the stigma, right? That these weed heads, pot heads are lazy bums, and they don't like to work out. I took a bong rip right before I started working out, bro, and I'm telling you, I feel great. I feel fine. There may be, C Money, maybe you know more about this than me. There may be some bro science behind it, but it opened up my veins, my lungs. I was going in, feeling really good.
I think there is a bro science. My bro science is, obviously when you smoke, your heart rate increases. So to me, that means your blood flow increases as well. Your heart is pumping faster, right? So
more oxygen
to your blood. You need to get blood to your muscles, and that means more blood is getting to your muscles. So I just feel like there's something there. And normally when I smoke, I take deep breaths. Because it's just a habit of mine, and breathing is very important. And again, I'm not a workout guru. I'm not any. I'm just repeating what I've learned from Joe Rogan's podcast, Jocko Willink's podcast, all these other guys. So I'm not, the mastermind of all this stuff. But I was an overweight person, 220 pounds in about 2013, 14, and not an ounce of muscle. Probably not do 10 push-ups. Now I'm like $175, I'd say.
Look great, buddy.
50 push-ups a day, whatever. Now just got into biking randomly, and I don't know, man. Again, there's something to that sort of thing. I'm a video gamer. I've been playing games my whole life, and now finally it took until I was 31 to start getting bored of these stupid damn games, bro, and exercise. But it's all in your head, man. The head game thing, and that's what every athlete and fighter and everything says, right? It's all in your head. And these Marines, shout out to Frank and shout out to you, JB, for being servicemen. But even more of a shout out to the Jocko guy. I don't understand how you get to the level of some of these people in your mind. And what I was telling JB the other day was my goal is to do 5 miles a day on the bike every day, at least, because it doesn't take that much time. People watch 2 episodes of their favorite show the time it takes to ride that bike. It's not an excuse. If you have the time to do 2 brainless, mindless shows on Netflix, you have time to exercise. So even one show, 24, 30 minutes is plenty of time. And, I got back to the driveway. It's 3.8 miles. And I was going to quit. And I was like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Forced myself to go back out to do the 5 miles. When I got back down, it did almost 8 miles. So how do you go from wanting to quit to you reason with yourself, it's all right, to doing almost double what you were going to do anyway?
Yeah, your body can go so far. It's really all in your head. And to that point, real quick, C Money, weed for me is a momentum thing. It makes it really hard to take that first step. But once I take the first step, weed just pushes me on. Oh, I'm in it. Let's go. That's why video games. That's why I get stuck in video games. That's why I get bike rides. It just pushes you over the edge, and you just keep going.
I've smoked before I've worked out, but not intent. I haven't like smoked with the intention of smoking before working out. Like maybe I've got a little bit left in my bowl. It's time to work out.
A little
Let me hit this shit and go run to the gym or go work out. But I don't smoke in between like while working out. I don't know how you guys can do that.
I'll do this. I'll do this barbell right here and then take a nice big pen hit right after. Like I said, there's something about just that after that rep and that just like I said.
It's a mental thing, bro. It's got to be. I mean, I'm sure that if there's a scientist out there or a doctor right now, he's cursing us to hell because like you guys are fucking idiots, this and that. Yeah, I'm absolutely certain that physiologically it's probably not the best thing, okay? But it's definitely mental. It's a mental thing. A lot of working out is mental.
So I would say the bud helps.
The bud helps.
Keep your mind off of
on task, baby. Let's get there.
Body's hurting.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
Maybe that's the case. Okay.
Well, it might sound like it's very hippie, but dude, I'm telling you, there's some sort of supernatural, for lack of a better word, connection with nature you have when you smoke, you get baked, and you go out. You just go for a walk, go for a bike ride, just something, and you're just looking at all these vibrant colors and greens and feeling the wind and the sun, and you're baked, so you think about.
Weed makes you feel good. Weed makes you feel good, and then when you're working out, those endorphins are getting released. You've got chemicals on top of chemicals being released in your brain, so endorphins and all that. So it's the colors are brighter, the air smells fresher, your senses are heightened. I mean, it
sounds great.
Reality in HD, right? And it just feels great. Yeah. So I think there's something to be said about that.
To segue it, because I forgot until now what the obviously point of all this next stuff we were going to talk about was. But there's something about recovery in it too. The recovery aspect's obviously huge. A lot of people push themselves, and the theory of pushing yourself and breaking down the muscle to failure, a lot of people disagree with it, but we're starting to find out that that's not really the case. You don't necessarily want to do that. And all these monster bodybuilder meathead dudes would disagree with you, but look, half of them wind up broken in the end of their life because of all this craziness they do.
Full of metal.
Yeah, so there's a lot to be said about taking about 10 minutes of a break in between reps, which sounds insane to most
10 minutes,
people.
That's a whole workout. Yeah,
right,
crazy.
Right. Yeah, so that I forgot the guy's name, but he was on Rogan show too, and this dude was some badass Russian dude. I forgot his name, but you just search JRE Russian kettlebell, and this dude was legit. Well, it is, but this guy who's legit responsible for bringing kettlebells to America, let that sink in, goes behind this whole reasoning as to why it works out this way. But anyway, recovery. And this is why I don't understand why I had to ask a fighter who I used to go to school with when I was in high school. Shout out to Jimmy Rivera. And I asked him what the guidelines are for cannabis in the UFC. And he said, obviously, you can't utilize cannabis during fight week. So it can't be in your system the week of the fight. But so the UFC obviously allows CBD. I think CBD MD was one of the sponsors at one point. What I don't understand is these guys take such a beating, and what their jackass boss decides to say, and this is what I wanted to get your guys' opinion about. So imagine the grueling hell you go through to become a fighter, let alone be in the UFC. And this is what your boss says. Your boss says, well, my number one goal was always that I don't want to lay off any employees. He goes, but when you're a professional athlete, you have a very small window. He goes, the UFC is not a career. He goes, it's an opportunity. He goes, so your job is to make sure you're prepared for that career. He goes, when things pop up like COVID and now people want more money and this, that, and the third, he goes, when you play in a sport where your knee could blow out, your back could go out, or anything like that could happen, he goes, you have to realize this is opportunity and not a career, and you have to make the best of it what you can. Now, I wanted your guys' opinion because you guys are sports fans. Now, spread that across all the other sports. I don't know what you guys know about the other sports in terms of retirement, how they take care of their players, if there are any sorts of things for retirement plans. The UFC literally has none, obviously. And for this guy to have the balls, like imagine you're a fighter and you literally get your body broken for this guy. And he just says, oh, by the way, not a career. So good luck out there, asshole. But I'm a billionaire.
Let me say this before I say anything else. I'm not a huge fan of Dana White. I think that I have expressed this in the past. I'm not a big fan of the way he does business, and I think that fighters should get paid more. That being said, hearing that, if that's a direct quote, C Money, I agree with him. I agree with him in a sense that most sports, you can call them a career, but in the span of a lifetime, if your average person works from 18 to 65, right, 70, right, and if you're lucky, you've had a good career where you've worked 20, 40 years, right? Most sports, you've got to be a legend to last more than 10 years. Yeah. You're a Hall of Famer if you've lasted more than 10 years, usually, or you're a journeyman who's really respected. So especially in a combat sport like UFC. So I don't think any WWE, UFC, boxing, it's a young man's sport. I don't think anybody will disagree with that. People think it's sad when you got people like Pacquiao fighting in their 40s, even though Pacquiao's one of the greatest, right? The Undertaker just retired at 55, 56, 57 years old, something like that. You know, and you talked about how many of his matches looked sad. It's not, I mean, for certain things like that, sports entertainment, that's another thing. Long careers, most fighters don't have long careers. It is an opportunity, right? Win as much as you can, make as much money as you can, and get out while you still have your head, right? While you still have your wits.
I literally agree on both sides, because in the fight game, you only get paid when you're big. You know, when you win, when you win in the fight game. Now, I think what we're arguing about, which why I agree, is the beginning fights. These guys are putting themselves at the same exact risk as Conor McGregor's for the pay disparity. You know, C Money told me that one guy got paid by Reebok $5,000 when he made them $1 million. That is what's the problem here. It's the disparity. Like, if he makes you money, you need to pay him even no matter if he just walked into the UFC or is a 10-year legend. I think that's the problem. But ultimately, in the fight game, it is an opportunity and you have to make the most of it.
Here's the thing. Professional athletes get paid. Okay, pro athletes, all right? If you want to consider yourself a professional, I've always said you should behave as such, all right? If you want to, everybody wants to be number one, everybody wants to look out for their own camp, just talk shit to other fighters and just be all about number one. You can do that and y'all all can make peanuts. But if y'all can act like professionals and start working together, then you might be able to demand a little bit more money for everybody. So,
real, exactly. Hashtag Weed Wednesdays. We're the Potheads West Show. We'll be right back, guys.